You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 11th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Redevelopment Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening. We're going to call the LaPorte County Redevelopment Commission for Wednesday, December 11th of 2020 at 4 p.m. to order. If everybody please stand for the pledge, silence your phones. Parkman.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mary Jane.
Adam Karoka.
Present.
Michael Rosenbaum. Scott Cooley.
Here.
Tom Fath.
Present.
Randy Novak.
Yes.
Mark Parkman.
Here.
Rich Merzinski.
Here.
Jennifer Farley.
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Let the record show that Mr. Rosenbaum, I don't know if he responded, but he's on Zoom.
I did.
Oh, you gave it a thumbs
Can you
up.
not hear me?
There he is. Nope.
Okay.
He did it.
Approval of tonight's agenda.
Motion to. Second.
Several motions to approve in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Next item is public comment. Anybody from the public who would like to speak?
Okay.
Anybody on Zoom that would like to speak? Anybody from the public? Anybody from the public? Hearing none, public comment is now closed. Approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
Motion in a second. Is there any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Communications.
Communications for November, December. Excuse me. Auditor's Office for the Treasurer's Reports for December. Auditor's Office to prepare the December 2024 automated POs. Picked up mail, sorted mail, including bills. Prepared the legal notice and sent it to the Herald Argus for publication of claims. Distributed the December 11th agenda to the media. Paxton Media invoice came. Transmitted documents to Bailey for posting on the web. Distributed the draft agenda for today's meeting for review and comment. EPI W-9 for a vendor number so their payment for the KIP assessment of LaPorte County Commissioner's property could be paid. U.S. bank account. The construction account has 32 cents in it, and if the commission so desires, I believe we can ask to have that account closed. You'll still have a U.S. bank and a merchant's bank debt service reserve fund that has to stay, but I don't believe you need to keep the other one open if you want to investigate that. Transmitted the TIF spending plans to the county council as required. Professional service contracts were gathered for 2025. In your packet is Charles Hendricks. He transmitted an index for the KIP road system for the work that he's done to date. And I have that because we file his claims for the Ready Grant and we have to show proof of progress for his work. Deputy Auditor contacted us re the bond payment for the 421 TIF. It's due January 15th. That bond payment was paid. It was paid out of 421 100% TIF 1 because the TIF settlements have yet to be made. After the TIF settlements are made, the proceeds from 421 TIF 2 settlement will be transferred back or into 421 TIF 1 to make it whole. Okay. Executive session was advertised in the Herald Argus, and the Ready people made a request for photographs for the trestle bridge. We're laughing because we looked online at what the trestle bridge looks like, and it's the overpass downtown. So we're gonna fix that and make sure it's
Bridges.
our trestle bridge.
The value and importance of our little railroad
They're gonna be going, you got all that for $500?
Right, you did really well.
Yeah.
You did very well. And then I confirmed with the deputy auditor the bond payment in fact was made.
Thank you.
End of communications.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report for December is 421 TIF is $154,573, and that's after your bond payment was made. US 421 TIF 2 is 0. KIDC TIF is $53,559, and 39 North is $19,207, and that is after the $76,721 payment is made to the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission for utility infrastructure for Bella Largo. This report does not include the fall settlement.
Thank you. Moving on to claims. KIDC, TIF, MCR Partners for $3,000, Carl Sender for $181.66, and EPI Phase 1 Environmental Site, $1,800 for a total of $4,981.66.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is second. Is there any question on those? The Phase 1 is on that property that the county owns. Okay. Roll call, please.
Yes. Aye.
Tom Fath,
Yes.
Randy Novak,
Yes.
Scott Cooley,
Aye. Yes.
Rich Merzinski,
Yes.
Michael Rosenbaum,
Aye.
Next one is, thank you, US 421 1 TIF, MCR Partners for $2,000, NIPSCO for $81.99, Harold Argus $30.04, Sender Dalton for $181.67 for a total of $2,293.70.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mike Rosenbaum,
Aye.
Rich Merzinski,
Aye.
Scott Cooley,
Aye.
Randy Novak,
Aye.
Tom Fath,
Aye.
Adam Karonka,
Aye.
Mark Parkman.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. The next one is 39 North, MCR Partners, 1,000. Guy DiMartino, the amount of $1,500. Sender Dalton, in the amount of $181.67. Harold Dispatch, in the amount of $5.81. And the City of LaPorte, for their portion of the infrastructure out there, $76,720.59 for a total of $79,408.05.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is second.
Randy Novak,
Aye.
Scott Cooley,
Aye.
Rich Merzinski,
Aye.
Mark Parkman,
Aye.
Adam Karonka,
Aye.
Tom Fath,
Aye.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. The other one is Charles Hendricks and Associates for the work that they're doing out at KIP regarding the easements in the amount of $2,765.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and second.
Tom Fath,
Aye.
Adam Karonka,
Aye.
Mark Parkman,
Aye.
Michael Rosenbaum,
Aye.
Rich Merzinski,
Aye.
Scott Cooley.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Randy Novak, aye.
Oh, Randy Novak, aye.
You started there.
Yeah, I started there. Okay.
You did great right up to that point.
I did.
It worked out great. Great. So that completes the claims. Old business. 421 I-94 Matt Reardon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commission members. We're inching ever closer to wrapping up the transfer of utilities. I know that J&M, D&M was moving closer. There's a couple items they had to take care of. Michigan City's hands-on with this, so once we get these items taken care of, we should presumably be okay to transfer those utilities. Outside of that, I don't have much more for 421 and 94 at this time. Any questions?
Nope. Any questions? Hearing none, moving on to KIP.
KIP. Well, we had the phase one completed for the property owned by the county out there on Third Line Road. We still have some progress to be made for the acquisition or donation of easements for the roadway. I know that Hendricks is trying to wrap that up. It's taken far too long, but I think at one point, talking with Tony, he had to identify 119 specific parcels in there. So if anybody that knows anything about surveying and legal descriptions, so it's 119 different legals for different parcels that are going to be required. In my discussions with some of the business people in Kingsbury, in particular those on Fourth Line Road, I said if the members of the people along the roadways do not sign these quit claim deeds, we will not do the roadway on that roadway. We'll pursue roadways where the ownership is in agreement and convey those easements to the county so that we can spend public dollars on there. That's the best way to do it. I think once word gets around that that's how the process will be, I think everybody should come along, but I've been wrong before.
What kind of pushback are you getting?
Well, in theory, nothing yet, but the county's gone through this exercise once before.
Yeah, this isn't the first time.
And everything from no to get off my land to forcing condemnation proceedings, which I would not recommend we do with this. We just won't do the road. It'll devalue their property. The other thing that would have to occur is we're going to repave roads out there. We have to figure out those people, and again, I'm presuming worst case scenario if that occurs. We'd have to figure out a method or pathway to make sure that people aren't ripping up the roads we pave and just choosing not to pave their own roads or participate in that in a financial way. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but it seems like what's happened in the past, somebody out there paves a road and everybody uses that road and they beat it up and it gets torn up and then somebody else does one and it's whack-a-mole. So we just, it's not a first-class business park until we have adequate ingress, egress, and access. There's a lot of money invested in rail out there and it's ridiculous that we're at this point, but it needs to be done. Period.
Any questions on that one? Hearing none. 39 North?
39 North, we're going to continue to work with our good friends in the city of LaPorte. We had a site visit today that looked at another property. I know Bert's finally closing on another deal that we had started out there just north of, north of Hickman Williams. So there's a distribution center going in there. Great site visit today, great company. They looked at Kingsbury, they looked at 39 North. Guess what? Shocking. Power is the issue. But I think we're, for this particular project, I think we're a lot closer than some others. So we'll keep you posted on that. While I'm on the 39 North topic, I know we talked about extending a new district or doing another plan area up to at least 20. There was a project that was proposed to the county that had to do with revitalizing the manufactured home park and putting some retail in there, which sounds okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than what's there. The particular program required the government, not redevelopment, but the county, to be signatory to a debt. And as I talked through the project with the developer, I said, I can't recommend that the county incur that exposure because there isn't growth. We can't use TIF. It's not. There's no dollars in there to pledge for debt service. And I suggested to them I need a letter of credit in an amount equal to the amount of the loan. They haven't wanted or been able to do that, so we will not be pursuing that particular funding at this time. There might be another round. It's a pretty crafty program. It's funding for infrastructure and development. It's at an interest rate, Mary Jane, correct me if I'm wrong, about 3.5 or 3.75%. So it's efficient money if you have somebody that can do the balance of the project. You know what I mean? So instead of 7 or whatever. So think of it in terms of SRF loan program stuff. you know, when a water utility or municipal utility goes out and gets an SRF loan, at the end of the day, it's the jurisdiction or the water board that's obligated to pay it back. Typically, there's already a rate cash flow that you can analyze to cover the cost. This is a little different. It presumes the cost could be covered either in a combination of new rates paid or property taxes collected. But right now, the complications with the valuations, I'm getting really into the weeds on this thing, but the complications with the manufactured home community is that it's personal property.
Right.
So the value is a concrete pad and a roadway, doesn't generate a lot of assessed value, it's personal property. And so that really kind of put a dagger in that deal. It's like I don't have assessment. So even if they were going to do, you know, rejuvenate it and put 100 in there, it wouldn't make a difference. So we're going to pass on that. But undeterred, I think we should still consider in 2025 looking at that area as the next growth corridor, working with our friends in both Michigan City and LaPorte to make sure we can extend those municipal services. I know that this developer did talk with LaPorte City about it, and they threw around some numbers, and $3 million pops into my head, and I'm like, well, okay. If we can get that corner served with $3 million, that sounds like something we should endeavor to tackle next year, working with LaPorte City.
Okay. Any questions on 39? Hearing none. Moving on to 3594.
Still there. Still there.
Nothing new.
We had the Serenity Springs group came in, talked to us, wanted to get some surplus property to expand their access. If you know, when you're driving into town, over there on the right side, there's some rough stuff over there. You got that little bank, and then there's some housing. Behind that is a bunch of acreage, unrelated to Serenity Springs. So they asked us to interface with Indiana Department of Transportation to see if that property was deemed surplus property, and they said no, not yet, because they were going to use that for a laydown yard or, you know, work yard for some of their project work. So I think there's a deal to be had on that corner. It just needs to be cleaned up, and NDOT owns too much property there that blocks ingress egress. And then, you know, if you go a little bit further, you're into that residential neighborhood, you need to create a separation. So really going to just keep an eye on that as an opportunity in the future.
Great.
That's all I have.
Thank you. New business, consideration of professional service contracts. She just gave you the agreement for Senator Dalton. Is Carl on? No? Do you know, is this the same as last year?
It is your same agreement as last year and the same amount.
Okay. What's your preference?
Make a motion to accept it.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. Is there any questions on it? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you. We got, I think our attorneys is in the package. Is this the same amount also?
It is.
Reduction?
Motion to approve.
Excuse me, sir, direct your questions up here.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Those opposed? Those are the only two we have, correct? MCR? Okay. The next one is MCR Partners. Sorry. Is yours the same also, Matt?
Those are pre-COVID booth involvement, supply chain crisis. But for the COVID attack, still holding those rates down.
Well, there isn't many places doing that anymore.
There it is.
What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any other questions? Hearing none.
I'm sorry. Yeah, wait 1 second. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Is it exactly the same as
Exactly.
before?
Exactly.
Okay. because we will have one less TIF going forward.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, maybe not, if we extend it.
Maybe not, yeah.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you. Next item is consider 2025 meeting schedule.
Anybody needs one, I have them up here, you can,
It's the same day as, well, is it in the packet?
yeah. Should be the last page of the packet, but if it's not,
Motion to approve. Well, motion to approve. If we need to move one, we'll move them, so. Yep. Motion and second, yes?
Once, September 24th is the time where the AIC conference is going on. So if we need to move it then, they'll move it then. Just a heads up, that's all.
Okay. Does anybody else see any, it's not, no.
Good with it.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty good. Just saying. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. Any other business?
Yes. For your afternoon enjoyment, Bailey McGrath is going to regale the board with our 2024 report. Talks about what we did, what we were asked to do, and how it ended up. On the spot. And thanks to our development team, Carlton and Mike. Appreciate their work on the other side of the fence, unrelated to redevelopment activities. So kind of going to go through everything together here.
Is there music that goes with
Yeah,
this? or Is there?
Karaoke this or something?
I thought you were singing, somebody was singing.
I can work that for you, Bailey.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Or leave it, so they-
Oh, whatever, it's fine.
Nope, just
State your name,
recap.
please. State your name.
Bailey Tombers with the Economic Development Office.
Thank you.
It's fine. Who cares? Just hit the down arrow. We're really flying here. We're gonna skip over BRE entirely. No, last year at this time when we were before the commission, you had charged us with seeing approximately 3 businesses a month. Mike and Carlton certainly exceeded that. There's been several that they've had to go to multiple times just to help move projects forward. So they visited 30 plus businesses, retaining over 650 jobs. One of those being an expansion of $14 million. We'll talk about that when we get back to KIP here in a little bit. But in 2023, they had done 9 visits in the time period that we were around. So quite the ramp up this year. Housing, we've actually got quite a bit of housing going on. Last year you wanted us to really start to focus on housing, so this year we've really worked to get it going. Outside of the projects with the city of LaPorte, we've had a couple of other things moving, some conversations with the Prairie Trails owners, getting that subdivision revived and under a new developer's name so we can get it moving. The Avanterra ribbon cutting, those homes and lots were all going up for sale. I believe Randy was at that. As new as today, we are going to be revising the housing study that we completed in 2022. There's been a lot of things we could have never guessed would happen in and around LaPorte County, the Amazon data center, the Microsoft project, all of these things. We couldn't have anticipated those things happening, so we'll be reviving and revising the housing study, which we anticipate completing in Q1 2025 in partnership with the Unity Foundation. And then Matt was before the council for Wanata and Kingsford Heights for some water sewer projects. Continuing down the line, broadband, slowing down but ramping up at the same time. We have had quite a bit of success working with the ISPs, getting them to put more fiber in the ground. So Indiana Connectivity in round 11, they had 50 plus addresses that were served. In the entirety of the program, there's been over 300. The NLC projects are still well underway, and we'll see more in the BEAD program next year. They have to be partnered with the county to receive money. They have to talk to us for it to work. So we'll continue to work with them, try and get as much as we can here to serve the rural community. New Carlisle, that task force is still moving. I know those meetings keep getting pushed around. It's the holidays. But they've been working on a monthly touch meeting, and they've identified several, 100 parcels for development in and around that area, whether it be housing or other business ventures. There'll be offshoots, so we're working with them to plan for it and move it forward. New business, we've responded to now 47 leads by the time I put this together. We've responded to 47 leads from IEDC and direct requests. We've had 2 on-site meetings in the last 2 days, so new business is certainly happening. People are interested in KIP, and we're continuing to move those along. Westville, we've talked informally about really starting to focus on the Westville area around Purdue. What do we do with that area and the fact that they've moved so many things off-site? We've had conversations with the Purdue folks, and they are very interested in working with us on some sort of formalized sub-area plan. Matt?
If I may, we applied for ready.
Go ahead.
We did apply for ready money for that particular project. We're not awarded. The purpose of the ready grant was to do a sub-area plan and at least to get some route analysis for utility expansion. So Purdue has indicated to me, they're like, well, why don't we pay for some of it? And I'm like, that sounds great. So we'll work out an agreement with Purdue that's going to continue to further that. And on the side of that, and kind of related to Westville, that area, I know Tom's been working with the town and Purdue to extend water, and he's still in the middle of that. And I don't know if he wants to talk about it or not, but he's working pretty hard at it. I can leave it at that. But Tom, if you want to let him know, we're just trying to make it easier for people that want to invest to hook up to utilities. I mean, it's a development deterrent. If we don't have it and it's not available. And it's even worse yet when you don't know the answer to it. Like, oh gee whiz, 36 months is not a answer. So we're just trying to cut that timeline down to get these decisions made quicker.
Thank you.
No, that's sort of the recap of it. I mean, yes, we applied for ready funds, but it's still a great project to still move forward. So restart of those conversations with Purdue, and we have a couple of developers that have indicated an interest because those conversations are happening. So there'll be a lot on the horizon in 2025. Matt already went through all the TIF related things. The expansion that we talked about for BRE, Alexander Chemical Corp, I mean, they've continued to expand year over year just because the things that are going on in KIP, they like it, and they're continuing to put down roots here. So the projects are there. You could skip through the rest of this. That was kind of the recap of the year. If you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to see differently or more of in 2025, happy to talk about it, discuss.
Any questions?
Tell us now, whatever.
Thank you. Any other business?
One quick note.
Yes.
You might want to come up.
Sure.
So yesterday, Matt and I had a quick discussion regarding Van Air.
Yep.
Van Air has been acquired by Lincoln Electric Company. If anybody knows anything about welding, you see a red welder, that's Lincoln Electric. They also get involved with other industries. We discussed the personal property abatement that we gave them not too long ago, and whether they may let that go, or if they decide to file the proper paperwork, let that continue. But in recent years, they've continued to grow. 11,000 employees, 56 different manufacturing locations. Maybe there's an opportunity there to market some of KIP to Lincoln Electric, just to see, if there's opportunity for further growth in LaPorte County. If they're investing in LaPorte County, it's worthwhile looking to see if they want to further invest. So
Great.
Yeah, we had talked about that in the letter of credit issue yesterday. We were in agreement. With no. So we need to.
Okay, so yeah, I'll jump up.
Okay.
So BRE, we communicated with Van Air, and we actually had a scheduled site visit. And what happened was they rescheduled a couple times, and we're gonna have to just look probably sometime in January to make that connection. But they were they were in communication with Mr. Seitz, and they do want to meet, and it's good to have this now going in, because I feel like if we met before, we wouldn't have had, like that nugget to kind of like put in front of them to kind of see where their growth is. So we'll keep that in mind. Once we get a date too, we can continue to look at opportunities for them in KIP or elsewhere, or whatever else is on the horizon.
Great. Good. Thank you, Carlton. Thank you. Anything else?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to update you. Excuse me?
Your name. So people know, not everybody. Your name. Who you are, Carlton.
Mike Seitz
Just kidding.
from Economic Development.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Per John Mrazinski's request, we had to postpone and cancel the joint task force meeting, and he instructed me to tell Rich that he should come back for the meeting in January. Okay?
That's all.
Schedule it early.
Yeah. Knowing Rich might be in Florida. But anyway, I'd like to give you an update on the US 30 coalition meetings. We've been meeting quite regularly, both as the coalition, and we've been meeting in Wanata a few times for public input and what have you. And we did find out that the town board of Wanata made a recommendation for no build through the town of Wanata. That's what they sent the information to NDOT. The recommendation period ends this Friday on the Pell study for the US 30 upgrade, and the LaPorte County Commission instructed me to say that we are not going to make any recommendations on that study at this time. So with attorney help, we submitted that to NDOT. Some of the things that the whole coalition, you have to realize there's an eastern section and a western section of US 30. The eastern section is going to really have a lot of construction and a lot of revamping. Not so much as the western section, but the eastern section is really busy. With Warsaw and going into Fort Wayne and what have you. The committee strongly recommends that they do the freeway alternative for the whole US 30. They want to eliminate J turns. They want longer on and off ramps for safety reasons, getting on and off of the freeway. They want the town of Wanata wants to build. A lot of people want to build a bypass around Wanata instead of having their town cut in half by this upgrade. In our discussions, we have really looked at the economic development benefits of a bypass around Wanata, which would provide an opportunity for economic development possibilities along, if it's planned right, along that bypass for economic development for the South County. The committee overall wants to work with the central office. Because right now, we're instructed that we have to work at the district's offices. Well, the total US 30 Coalition Committee, they want to work just with the central office. And the total committee also agreed that additional funding revenues need to be looked at to help upgrade this transportation on US 30. They need additional funding. I just got back from attending a legislative get-together in Elkhart 2 hours ago and heard from a lot of legislators. And, you know, this is going to be a budget year, and what's being kicked around is maybe a possibility of raising gas taxes. A lot of people don't want that. A lot of the legislators don't want to raise the gas tax. Pressel has indicated that, and there is some strong in favorable positions of toll roading the I-65, I-70, and I can't remember on another freeway or interstate here in Indiana to help provide funding for infrastructure, transportation infrastructure all over the state. And that's going to be looked at during this legislation. So other than that, I'd like to thank Guy for your assistance on sending that email to INDOT on Indianapolis, and we'll keep you updated on any other things that are going on. I'm sure there's going to be other comment periods, you know, as they get closer to the final resolutions of what they're going to do. So I just wanted to update you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other business? Hearing none, just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy holiday.
Same here.
And with that, Mr. Parkman?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Cooley?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Great seeing everybody. Thank you.